Looks nicely made. Nice sweet aroma. Smells like good sweet tobacco. It tastes like very sweet tobacco on a cold draw. Good Connecticut flavor. It's got a sweetness to it. I can taste it and smell it on the aroma. Nice tobacco flavor. It's sweet and that natural tobacco sweetness. It's burning nicely. It's got a wonderful draw. It's got a good flavor. The Connecticut has Nicaraguan Habano for the binder and the filler. Well, I'm about 10 minutes in. It's a very good cigar. It's very pleasant. It draws very nice. It's got a mellow body. There's a little bit of a nutty flavor. It's not a real deep cigar, not terribly complex. It does have a little bit of a nutty. It does have a little bit of a spicy. It's going pretty good with a cup of coffee. It's nice and smooth. Got a nice sweet tobacco flavor. It's just kind of exactly what you want if you want a mellow Connecticut cigar. Well, I'm enjoying my Connecticut. It's definitely what I wanted it to be. It's a nice, mellow, creamy smoke. There's an earthiness. There's a little bit of a nuttiness. Not a whole lot of spiciness. If it's in there, I can't detect it. It is, as it's burning down here now getting towards the middle, it is getting a little more intense in the flavor. It's going really good with a cup of coffee. Just sitting out here on a nice day, enjoying a nice cigar and a good cup of coffee and an MP3. So this is a little bit unfortunate. This is one of those cases where they put a lot of glue on the band, and it was actually really hard to undo it, and I ended up having to peel it all the way back around itself, and it ruined the band. I like to keep these bands, and I write on the back of them just a really nutshell kind of summary of my experience. So in the future, if I want to try one again, I've smoked a lot of cigars, and I can pull this out and say, oh, okay, that's right, I like this one, or I didn't like it, or whatever. So that's a little unfortunate. Somebody went a little happy with the glue, but no big deal. That's my only complaint, if you could even call that a complaint, about this cigar. It's been a beautiful cigar, very well made. It burns wonderfully. It's got a good mellow smoke. It's got the flavor I wanted. You can tell just by the ash, it's a well-constructed cigar. I have not had to do anything to touch it up since I lit it. It just wants to burn smooth by itself. I always love that. And so I am enjoying my Gran Habano, Connecticut. Well, I'm getting down to the end of my Connecticut here. It's been pretty interesting in the last half here. Some flavors have started to come out of it that were definitely not there in the beginning. At first I thought it was my imagination, but there is like an herbal zestiness that's been coming out of this almost here at the bottom. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just reminds me of like fresh cut herbs in a way, but just the faintest impression of it every now and then. It's kind of strange. I looked up the description on the website. It doesn't say anything like that. It says cocoa, nuts, toasty tobacco, cedar, and caramel. I don't know about cedar. There is a caramelly, kind of toasty aspect to this. Um, I guess you could say it goes into the cocoa, some of the cocoa and the earthy coffee kind of things. They all kind of go together into one profile. I think sometimes somebody will describe something as cocoa, and another person will describe it as earth, and another person will describe it as coffee. And I think they're describing the same thing. But that's got that. It's got the toastiness. It's got the good, rich tobacco flavor. Yeah, but here at the end, it's also producing a little bit of a zestiness, which is nice. It's been a really, really good cigar. It's burned perfectly. It's had wonderful flavor. It's got that nice, natural, light brown wrapper. It gives you all the toasty, earthy flavors that you want, but it's nice and mellow. No nicotine feeling for me. This is definitely a mellow cigar. This would be a really good cigar to give somebody who wants to know what's it like to smoke a good cigar. You know, maybe they've had a couple of the gas station cigars. Maybe they've had some of the cheaper cigars that, you know, it's kind of like a roll of the dice every time you buy one. Might be good, might not be. This would be a good cigar to give somebody and say, I know for a fact this is going to be a well-made, tasty, pleasant cigar to smoke. It's not terribly expensive. The 5-pack that I got was $20, so it comes down to $4 a cigar. And for this cigar, that's a fine price. That's totally fine. If you were to buy this in a cigar store, I guarantee you it would be a lot more than $4. Good all the way down to the nub. Definitely a fine cigar. I absolutely recommend it. The Gran Habano, Connecticut, for a very mellow and pleasurable smoke. Well, there you go. So thanks for joining me once again, and I will see you next time.